They thought she was weak. Quiet. Easy prey. But that day in the school bathroom, as cold toilet water dripped down her face and rage built like a storm inside her chest, she became something else. Something they didn't see coming. Something no one expected. Samantha Hayes was never the loud one. She didn't wear flashy clothes, didn't post attention-seeking videos on social media, and didn't sit with the in crowd during lunch. She preferred her small circle of friends, books about mythical warriors, and sketching in the back of her notebooks. To her classmates, especially the mean ones, that made her a target. She had always believed that if she stayed out of the way, they'd ignore her. That belief shattered like glass one rainy Tuesday afternoon. It had been a rough morning. Her parents had argued again over money. The rent was overdue, and the landlord had threatened eviction. Her little brother had a fever, and she'd had to walk him to her neighbor's house before school. She missed the bus and arrived 10 minutes late to her first class, soaked from the rain. Her teacher didn't bother to ask why, he just gave her a warning. By lunchtime, her headache throbbed, and she hadn't eaten anything but half a granola bar. Then came gym class. Samantha hated gym. Not because she wasn't athletic, she actually liked running, but because of the girls in her class. Zoe, Vanessa, and Bianca. The queens of cruelty. Everything about Samantha offended them, her thrift store sneakers, her silence, the way she tucked her hoodie over her head when they stared too long. They thrived on picking her apart, day by day, word by word. But that day, it escalated. After class, Samantha headed to the restroom to wash her face, hoping to cool off and survive the rest of the day. She didn't hear them follow. She was at the sink when the door slammed shut behind her. "Look who's hiding again," Zoe said, her voice dripping with mockery. "I'm not in the mood," Samantha muttered, turning to leave. Vanessa blocked the exit. "Ah, poor thing. Having a bad day." Before she could react, Bianca grabbed her from behind. "No." Samantha cried, but it was too late. They shoved her into the stall. The lid was up. The water was cold. Hands gripped her hair and pushed her face into the bowl. The world blurred. The taste of bleach and old water invaded her mouth. It was over in seconds, but the damage was done. They laughed. They laughed as she gasped and choked, hair clinging to her face, eyes burning. They called her names. Names that stuck like thorns. Then something inside her snapped. Samantha stood slowly. She didn't cry. Not this time. Her heart pounded, not from fear, but fury. All the times she'd been silent, all the times she'd swallowed her pain just to survive, it all built to a roaring crescendo in her chest. "Are you gonna cry now?" Bianca taunted. Samantha looked up. And smiled. Not the kind of smile that said, "I'm okay." The kind that said, "Run." Without warning, she took 3 steps forward and slammed her boot into the stall door, splintering it off its hinges. It flew open with a bang that echoed through the restroom like a thunderclap. Zoe's face went pale. Vanessa took a step back. Samantha lunged. She didn't scream. She didn't threaten. She let her fist speak. One swift punch to Zoe's face sent her sprawling to the tiles, clutching her nose. Blood. Screams. Chaos. Vanessa tried to swing, but Samantha ducked and caught her arm, twisting it and slamming her into the sink. Bianca ran. Samantha didn't follow. She stood there, panting, soaked and trembling, but not from fear. From power. The teacher arrived moments later. A security guard followed. There was yelling. Accusations. Samantha didn't resist. She told them everything, calmly. Clearly. And for once, people listened. She was suspended for 3 days. But so were the others. And after an investigation, it turned out that Samantha wasn't their only victim. Dozens of students stepped forward, emboldened by her stand. A silent revolution began with one slammed door. At home, her mom cried, not in disappointment, but pride. Her father finally listened to her when she said she needed help. Her brother, now recovering from his fever, gave her the biggest hug and whispered, "You're like a superhero." When she returned to school, the whispers followed her, but not the same kind as before. "Did you hear what she did?" She fought back. Finally, someone stood up to them. And Samantha. She didn't go back to hiding. She joined a self-defense class. She helped start an anti-bullying club. She still loved drawing, but now, her sketches were filled with warriors who looked just like her. What happened in that bathroom didn't break her. It woke her up. Because sometimes the strongest people aren't the loudest. Sometimes, they're the ones who've been knocked down the most, until the day they rise. And when they do, they don't just stand. They change everything.